guys? Welcome to Ayomigs podcast. This is episode 8 with Cultgabe. What's up, Cultgabe? How you doing?
What's up?
Man, I haven't seen you in so long.
I know, dude. Like, what has it been? Like 3 years since high school? More?
Yeah, like 4.
4 years?
Like 4. And then after that, we never really see each other after that.
I know.
But I know you've been busy. So what have you been up to?
That's a long story. I've been, doing videos, photos, music. I actually started making beats when I was in high school, like when I was 17. So that was senior year. And I did it, and I didn't take it super seriously, but about a year after high school, I really did. So I've been doing music ever since. That's
crazy because, at least I didn't know that. That's something I didn't know. I just found out right now. So, that's crazy. But, okay, so tell me about the journey of, after high school. I know we were talking earlier about, photography, videos, and you've been traveling. So I just want to know, give me details about that,
So, right after high school, I had planned to go to UC Santa Barbara. Mm-hmm. Actually, I was going to go either there or Santa Cruz. I ended up deciding UC Santa Barbara. Went there with my mom, checked it out. Got, some merch, at the store. I was, legit. I was all in, dude. I was ready because my whole family's gone to college.
Okay.
On my mom's side. And I was like, dude, this is it. Just getting ready.
You're hyped, yeah.
Yeah, I was hyped. And then... But I had been filming since I was 14. So the story goes back further, but we'll just stay right there at graduation.
Yeah. Throw it all in there, man. I mean, if you want to tell, so you don't tell everything. I mean,
yeah.
I prefer it.
Well, that story's more
chop, when I was middle school, I started this, or then when I was I filmed this, and I was hell yeah, this was sick, you know.
Well, then I'll just start with how I started.
Yeah, no, please.
I started surfing with my friends when I was 13, 8th grade, I think, 8th grade. And as I started doing that, one summer I broke my arm and I couldn't surf, and all my friends surfed. So I wanted to, I would kick it, but then when they would go in the water, I'd be have my cast, so I couldn't go surf.
Yeah, I think I remember that actually.
Yeah.
I remember you having a cast.
And it was all summer, so it's what am I going to do? And one of my friends had a camera. His grandma bought him a camera, and I started using it. And I was just I just started really digging it. And I would watch surf videos, and I'd be dude, I want to make a surf movie. So that was my goal for the summer, to make a surf movie. Yeah. Zero knowledge of how to do it, but I wanted to do it. Uh-huh. So I just would film my friends all the time, every session, film skating and stuff. And that's what really got me hooked. And I didn't have a camera. So the next step obviously was to get a camera. But I just remember really wanting it, but having no means to get it because I was young. I was probably 14 at that time. And then somehow my mom pulled it off and got me a camera, nice. Not too expensive camera. And I just was from then on, dude, it was I was addicted, into it.
That's crazy. That's I mean, I believe obviously you're going to go way farther than where you are right now, and you really good at editing, photography. I always known that. That's what you're known for. That's what I know. As you, obviously I knew you before, but when I saw you posting photos, videos of that, I'm dude, it looks sick. And then I show people, or I show my parents or whoever, and they're yo, that's legit, that's a commercial, you know what I mean? It's that legit. So over time you obviously grew. And I felt that was a sign, your mom gave you that gift, or your friend was here's a camera, and you're this is oh shit.
Yeah, what are the odds one of your friends has a dope camera and you could just use it? Yeah. And then it ends up being bro, I had never felt that passion before about anything. I did Little League.
Yeah, I remember.
I did sports. I sucked at sports, bro.
No, you're alright.
In freaking elementary school, I remember we would all play kickball.
Yeah.
I sucked. I was the worst, bro. I couldn't kick far, and I would be dude, how do you guys kick like this? Yeah. I just remember I've always been not good at shit. So when I found something I was good at, I was dude, this is awesome. It felt so good. And it was such a new feeling for me to have that passion for something, because a lot of kids find what they like. Even if it's not their lifelong passion, they have something they really like, And I felt I never really had that. Maybe it was video games, but
Yeah.
Not like anything close to taking photos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, I don't know. I really like that. And that ties into
Like
the first thing I was saying about like after graduation, because I had gotten so much experience up until graduation that I had a really good foundation, because I started when I was like 13, 14.
Mm-hmm.
I went from like using a GoPro to using my friend's camera, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And like I said, my goal was to make a surf movie. I never made a surf movie, but that was still my goal. Even when I was like 16, 17, like I was like, dude, I want to put out a sick surf video.
Mm-hmm.
And right after I graduated, I'm trying to just figure this out. Right after I graduated, I had a girlfriend at the time, and her dad linked me up with his friend and his son was a surfer, aspiring like professional surfer. And they're like, yo, they lived in Hawaii. They're like, yo, we want a filmer to come out and film for us.
Mm-hmm.
I met up with him in San Clemente, and we started filming, and we just vibed really well together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was 17, he was probably 15. And so I decided to do that instead of go to UC Santa Barbara. And that was like a big choice.
Yeah, I bet. Like that's like a yeah, I know. Like that's a big choice of like, okay, school, and you think of like, maybe a possible future and career, all that other stuff, but you're like, or take the risk of like, this is what I do and I'm good at it, and you did like that. Like that's cool. Like because it's crazy that you say that, because you hear people talk about that and you kind of don't believe it. You're like, oh, I made that choice of like, I was supposed to go to Santa Barbara. Like, would you get like a scholarship for it, or like some type of?
I didn't get a scholarship. I think I did get some fees.
Yeah,
I got some FAFSA shit because my mom wasn't making much money at the time.
Yeah, so stuff like that.
But
like,
I still got in. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like those big stories. Like, oh, I had a like an example. Like say, oh, like I had a full ride. I did this, and then it's like, but dude, like you made the option of like doing that, and I'm pretty sure that went well for you, because at least.
It did better than I could have imagined.
Yeah, what I know of is like all your posts and like stuff and like everything was like, dude, like that's crazy. Like you're doing something that's like I wouldn't think that was you.
Yeah.
Or you created that.
Yeah, my mindset going into it was like, I'm gonna take a year off, and if it doesn't work, whatever, I'll go back to school. And that was what helped me convince my family, because my family was really against it, dude. I had like to the point where each one of them like sat me down kind of and like had their own conversations with me about it, saying like, I see why you're doing it, but I don't think you should, that type of stuff.
Dang.
And I was kind of like, damn, dude. And I'll never forget that. That was just, I remember being so like, felt like so much pressure, dude. My aunt helped me write my, what's it called when you're there's a letter you write when you bro, what is that called?
I don't remember.
A personal statement or something like that.
Yeah, we'll just go with that. Yeah.
Whatever.
Your life.
She helped me write it,
like that.
and it was really good. And it just kind of like, stemmed from, because I wanted to go in it still for video and stuff. So it stemmed with like growing up in IB and, just all that stuff. And I feel like that's also what helped me get in a lot. But my aunt helped me write it, and she was like, wow, like I spent so much time helping you do this, like kind of like guilt tripping me a little bit. Not like, she didn't know it, like none of them knew like how much they were like hurting me at the time.
I bet. Yeah, you kind of stay quiet, like,
but it's like, it's coming from a place of love, so it doesn't matter. But it's like, I was just like, fuck, like I can't.
What I can feel like you in a way, like I get you. It's because it's like those, a perfect example is like those nights where you're just laying there, you're like, dude, like everyone's like doubting me, everyone's like saying like all this stuff, and it's like, dude, I'm just trying to do this, and they might think like, dude, that's not real, that's like a little trip, okay, come back, and then you're like, okay, go back to school. It's like, no, like this is what I was trying to do for like a while now, and like I finally got the opportunity, so let me do it. Yeah. And if, like you said, you can always go back to school. Like, I mean, like,
yeah, I don't see myself doing it though now. I don't. I've learned so much from just experience that I've learned to like value that more than anything. Like I've thrown myself at things that I had no idea how I would deal with them, but it always works out. You always grow from it. But that year off thing, like the gap year or whatever, was what really helped me like make it okay with them. But I feel like my mom knew. She's like, he doesn't want to do that. Like, and my mom was probably the most supportive.
Okay.
Like,
that's good.
For sure. And like, yeah, my mom didn't care. She just understood when a lot of people didn't, and that helped a lot.
You know what I think it is? It's crazy to like. I really think it's crazy that you talk about stuff because you hear it somewhere else. Like, you can listen to other podcasts, you listen to videos and interviews. Like, so there's like in the future, which I really hope this happens. You blow up on videos, photos, everything, social media, all of it. Like a year, 2, 3, 4, whatever. I can look back at this like you actually said that with truth.
Yeah.
And anyone could be like, yo, like, this was true. You said it. Not like when they're all famous, they're like, yeah, you know, shout out to my mom that like supported me. But we will never know. But at least like at this point in time that right now you said that, look at it like 5 years later and you'll be like, dude, I literally said that and that was true.
Yeah.
Not just like, I don't know. I'm not saying those people are lying, but like, you know, you kind of like, oh, like that's everyone's, you know, I went through, it was college or this. And it was like, oh, this worked out, which is, it does happen sometimes, but I feel like you're really committed to it because even when you came today, like we were like right off the back we were talking, and you talked about it. You have like so much stuff that I didn't know, and I found out just today, and I was like, dude, like there's so much stuff like I almost forgot about you or didn't even like know that you did.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that feel that way because I'm like when you try to mix friend groups at a party. Like, you have all these friends, and they're all on their own. Like, I feel like my life, I have so much of that. It's like I have these people.
I agree.
And they all know me for this thing. It's like I have my surf people. I have my music people.
Right.
They don't really understand surfing, but they know that I do it. I have the surf people know I do music, but don't really understand, like, how deep that goes. And it's
100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's crazy because, like, you know, like high school and now you do have those groups. And I think sometimes it sucks, but maybe it's a good thing. Like, you always fade away from some category or some people. Yeah. But sometimes it's always good, or I mean bad also. But like, it's cool that you had both because that's both of you. You basically combined it. Like, okay, like. Welcome back. We took a little restroom break and go back to the story you were talking about.
Okay, so we were talking about the family being like.
Barbara college.
Okay, yeah, so basically after I talked with my family, they're all bummed. Yeah, I don't know. My cousin went to UCLA. She graduated, I think, a year after we graduated. She graduated from UCLA, so that was also just played a part in, like, you know, the whole tension.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But so I'm like, I'm gonna try this, and then I'll go back to school if this doesn't work out. And then I did it, and I went out to Hawaii. I stayed there for a few months, and I was filming, and I was just filming for this dude Noah Beshin, who's also like one of my best friends now, like still. And we filmed, and just kind of, that was just the beginning, and I didn't really know it because to me that was like, dude, I made it.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, dude, I'm out here.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I was out there filming. I had been in the North Shore of Oahu once before, and it was because like a local San Diego surfer, he's like a legend in the surf community. His name is Joel Tudor. Okay. He took me and Hunter out there, who was, for the people listening, Hunter is like my best friend who helped me do photography.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I actually see him definitely a lot. I see him more than you, actually, for sure. I always see him drive by.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah, we always say what's up. Like, it's crazy.
That's sick.
That's one guy I see like actually pretty often.
Yeah. So he took me and Hunter out to Hawaii, and he let us stay with him for like a week. It was like, I think it might have been during fall break or something. Actually, no, because I remember how to get an independent study contract from the school to take the week off. So it was like, we pretty much just got out of school, got our parents to sign, got the school to sign. Our teachers gave us some work, and then we bailed. We went to Hawaii.
Where were we at? What grade?
This was 10th grade.
Okay.
Sorry, 11th grade.
Okay.
Yeah. 11th grade, because then the next year was when I started filming for Noah. Yeah, so I got a glimpse of it, and I was like, dude, this is sick. Like, I was just like, wow. Walking down the beach, it's like perfect waves, beautiful scenery. Like every pro surfer you could think of is there during the fall.
Okay.
It's just like for somebody from here to just go see that, you're like all in the mix. It's like it's like an actor going to Hollywood or something. You're just like, damn, I just saw like
like you're an upcoming actor, or like you're a filmer, and you're like, dude, look at all these actors here.
You're like, I just saw Leonardo DiCaprio at dinner.
Like stuff. Like
that's how it felt.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, damn, okay, this is cool. And I shot photos, thought, didn't think much of it. And I was just like, this is cool. I wanted to like make that my job, but I didn't know how. Okay. So when I got linked up with Noah, I was like, I had the chance to do it. And it was really fun to just be out there. I stayed with him for a few months, and I met more people along the way, and I just kind of started. That was the beginning of me getting my name out there in that industry, in the surf industry. So after the winter, like, people come back to California because in Hawaii it's just the winter's popping, the waves are good, and then everyone leaves pretty much. Okay. So I came back to California, and I start like working at the surf shop I used to work at. It's in Coronado. And then one of my buddies graduates, because this is summertime already. It's been a year out of school. And my career didn't really start yet, but I had like made some connections, whatever, and got my name out there, was doing cool videos. And my friend was like, yo, let's move to Kauai. So I'm like, okay, like, fine. Yeah. I moved to Kauai, and I'm there for only like 2 months. By the way, that was like one of the best experiences ever. That's why I was saying, dude, like, I value experiences over like school education, because you just learn so much. And so we're in Kauai, and one of Noah's friends, his name's Baron, he hit me up and he's like, yo, I need a filmer. So I cut my trip short, go to Oahu again, and start filming for this other dude, Baron.
Okay, so like, I'm not familiar with these places. So like, are they like...
Kauai is a different island.
It's islands, basically.
Yeah, so it's just a chain of islands. So
okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I've moved to one island.
I'm assuming, but... And
just like, coincidentally, like, somebody from another island hits me up.
Yeah, that's cool.
Who I met before. Wasn't super close with at the time, but we ended up getting pretty close.
Yeah, he just knew that you know how to do this. He's like,
yeah,
I like your stuff. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Are you here? Yeah, I'm here. Okay.
Exactly. It was exactly that.
Yeah.
So that worked out beautifully. Like, I would say that winter in Hawaii, which was probably, I think it was 17 to 18 or 18 to 19. I don't know. I'm so lost with times. Anyways, that was like that was a really good winter, because that was what really established me for like being good at what I do. And at that point, there's this thing called the WSL. It's like the NFL, but World Surfing League. Okay. So it's just, they run the events and everything. And they were like posting all these videos me and Baron were doing, and that got us both an insane amount of exposure. And people were just like, that was when people really kind of started to know who I was. And then, yeah, I don't know. It's still, though, I feel like, dude, I don't like talking about it that way, but that's kind of like what it was, because now I'm at a point where people like want to work with me because of that stuff. Okay. Like, that winter is the stuff that people like base my skill level off of.
That's the prime time for you. Like, that's like my time to shine.
Yeah.
And also grow. Yeah.
I just like, I don't know. I feel like I need to say that because I feel like it sounds really like arrogant, but it's just the fact of the matter. It was just like, that was what people saw me as. So it was like, that helped me a lot get so many types of jobs. And I could show that I could show those videos. They were 1 minute Instagram videos that just like let people know how good of a surfer he was, and also show my editing skills and my filming skills, Yeah, like it goes from like a simple tag, a simple hashtag, exactly, anything like at Gabe. Okay, cool. And it's like, oh, dude, like this guy did it, like, oh, created by. Yeah. Like, click it, and you're like, you just have like a list of like on your IG of just like videos like that. And you're like, oh, dude, and you're like, oh, photography. Oh, cool. And it's like, dude, like it's all of it. So you're like, okay, he's like
he has like credit, like his credibility is pretty.
Yeah,
freaking
that's
on
what it
top.
was. That winter established my credit. You know, people that knew me, like you said, you're like, oh, I knew you were doing videos and stuff. But I feel like that let a lot more people know, and also just established like a good amount of credibility to where they would want to like work with me, you know?
No, definitely, because like I said, like for me, it was just like, I know you do this, but like maybe like in the editing people or like surfing community, like stuff like that, you're like, dude, this guy's like legit. And to me, it's like, dude, that looks sick. Okay, cool. Like it, you know? But like, I know it's like legit. It's like a commercial, like, you know, like the ones you see on TV or like YouTube. It's like, no, like he does that. Like that's what he does. Like he's one of those guys.
Yeah.
And I thought that's like so crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because after that I started filming for another surfer who I met one day while I was filming Baron. He came up to me, and he didn't come up to me. He came up to this dude I was sitting with and starts talking to us, and I just had a brief interaction with him. But he started seeing the videos I was doing with Baron, followed me, and I didn't hear much of him, and then he hits me up. I went back home again after that winter. Things died down, and he hits me up, and he's like, yo, I'm going to Fiji. His name was Koa Smith. He's like, yo, I'm going to Fiji. Do you want to come? And I end up going, and I'm filming for him, and then I end up filming for him the next winter. So it's like each time I just keep meeting more people, and there's a lot of other dope people I've met aside from those, but those were just the people I ended up like establishing like working relationships with, you know. So yeah, I was doing all that, and I was working pretty consistently with all these people, but I noticed like my passion for creating that kind of stuff slowly started to like fade, and I didn't realize it. That's why I started doing music so much.
Okay.
So that like as I was, you know, going up and gaining all this traction, I also was kind of just like not finding as much meaning in it. So that's why I did music.
Wait, so did you find? Wait, are you saying that you lost like love for it, or like are you trying to say like?
Yeah, not love.
No, you're always gonna love it.
Like, yeah, like I love surfing, but like
photo videos, all that.
Sitting
stuff.
on the beach for hours just got old.
Okay.
It got old, and I was just like, I don't know. I really don't know what it was, but there was. I remember there was just a time where it just started to like fade, and I look back. I'm like, I don't really want to do this. I don't see myself doing this for the rest of my life, you know.
Okay.
Because there's people who do that stuff. You know, they're working as photographers and videographers in the surf industry for a really long time, and I was just like, I don't necessarily see myself doing that. Yeah, I'm not into that. There was a point where I would film for free anybody just because I was so hyped on it, and I just don't feel that same way anymore. But I'll film a music video.
You're like, hell yeah.
I'll film a music video with an artist that I believe in for free. So it's like that passion transferred.
Okay.
If that makes sense. And over that whole time, like, now we've kind of caught up on years, but so over those years I was still doing music. Like, that's something I forgot to touch on. But I was doing music a lot and really taking it seriously, but I felt like I was just like, dude, I knew I wanted to do it, but it seemed so far away, but I was just like, I'm going to do it when I can and try to like get good, you know? So if I wasn't editing and stuff, a lot of times I'd be working on music, and it just got more and more. Like when I was filming with Noah, I don't think I was really doing music much. When I was filming with Baron, I was making beats a lot more. When I was filming with Koa, I had been making beats and like performing on the songs, like singing and writing. So like each winter I was like really juggling the two things more and more. It was like video and music. And it came to a point where I'm just like, if I don't really want to dedicate all of my time to making like surf videos and stuff, then I need to really like double down on music, because like that's my job. It's like I gotta keep progressing in some way. Like, I'm not just gonna let myself be stagnant. So I just really doubled down with music and was like, dude, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't know how. Like I said, I just threw myself at it, and ever since then, I told myself, like, I just need to give myself more time to breathe and do what I'm really passionate about.
Right. Okay.
I still love making videos. Like, I don't want to seem like I don't like making surf videos, and I still love doing that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but my love for music is so much greater that it seems like it's just not as like enticing, you know?
Mm-hmm. So like, what's cool about that is like, you can always balance it too, because
Yeah.
you said like surfing's in the winter, right?
Mhm.
From what I just learned now, like I didn't know that. Like you said in Hawaii.
That's in Hawaii, yeah.
Yeah, in Hawaii. Okay, so in Hawaii, that's like your surf peak. Like that's like the video stuff. Like you know that, okay, like hey, I'm busy
It's
during
like
this
March
time.
Madness.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like like that's your peak.
Yeah.
Like of like like this freaking like months right here, like I'm booked, I'm busy. But guess what?
Yeah.
After all that, it's like, okay, I'm coming back home or whatever.
Mhm.
Hey, like you still want to do a video? Like we're okay, yeah, I'm down. Okay, cool. And then like you want to drop that song, whatever. Okay, yeah, I'm down. Like but like everyone's gonna know, or at least people you work with is like, this is the time where hey, like I'm kind of busy, I can't be doing this stuff.
Yeah.
But when I come back, like I got you.
That's yeah, you pretty much just said it how it is. Like that's how it is.
Mm,
It's really how it is for me right now.
that's cool.
And that's cool that you picked up on that.
Yeah, like like I said, like it's I keep saying it, but it's the truth. It's like I haven't talked to you in so long, so this is like the first time I'm actually like interacting with you, like in a very long
Mhm.
time. And like, okay, well, actually, tell them about the signal. That's the oh my god, a single. My
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, the title, and what like inspired you to do it, or like what is it about?
Yeah. So the single I just came out with yesterday, 2 days ago, it's called Drunk Love by Cultgabe. It's on all streaming platforms. I think I made it at the beginning of quarantine, or
Mhm.
maybe a little bit into it. But it was like a new direction for my music.
Okay.
So it was a new direction, but I really liked it. Like I felt like that song was the most true to myself than any other song I've made. Like I had some music out under like a different name, and it was dope. Like I still like those songs, I still listen to them, but it's like the song I just came out with, Drunk Love, feels like a very good representation of who I am. And it's just like, I don't know, the whole vibe of the song just feels very authentic. So I was like, okay, if this feels this way, I'm gonna try to push it, because this is who I am from now on.
Mhm.
So I wanted to like give that thing the attention it deserved, like with my opinion. I thought it should have that. So
Yeah, I listened to it, and you know what? It was something that I didn't expect. I didn't know. Like I didn't know you do that. Like I really kind of did.
Yeah.
Like I would see it, and like
you're not the only one.
Yeah, exactly. I do. I promise you. Like when you posted that, and a lot of people were sharing it, like I bet you were surprised, and like people were just like, okay, download. Even like I instantly downloaded it. I listened to it, and I was okay, cool. Like this is different,
Yeah.
and this is something that, like, I didn't know it was you. Like it's one of those things. Like I really didn't know. Like this is Gabe. Like what the heck? Like this
Yeah.
guy I always knew. Like it's just like, it's different.
Yeah. I've been practicing. I've been practicing a long time, dude. Like I've spent a lot of time writing and like focusing on certain things and like developing that sound,
Mhm.
But like I said, like that song feels like the first song of a new sound I've figured out for myself that feels the most authentic.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's funny though, because to you, it's like you hear it, you're like, damn, he just came out with this right off the bat. But it's not how it is, It's like years and years in the making. Like I said, bro, I started when I was 17. I'm 21.
Mhm.
So, I was making beats up until I was, I think, 19. So it's like, a little bit less for the, like, singing and songwriting and rapping kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But still, it's like, spent a lot of time trying to get good at it,
Yeah, everything takes time. That's something I've learned. I mean, obviously, I was telling you earlier about all this stuff, but like, it's something I never knew. Like, this is like a whole new, like,
Mm-hmm.
like category, or like kind of like
You don't even
like,
know what you don't know.
yeah, exactly. I just don't like some things I don't know, and I learned. You learn day by day. Just same thing with their surfing stuff and the music stuff, and like for me, this is something like I was learning with like the editing and the camera. Like the camera, so I instantly asked you, hey, dude, like, what do you think about this? Like,
Yeah.
do I return it? Do I like do this thing? You're like, oh, okay, and then it comes down to the editing. You're like, oh, like, what do you think about this? You're like, oh, I know this. So like, another thing I'm actually thankful for is like I'm very thankful for people that I know that know certain things. Like, the more friends you have, like, coming from like friends and close friends, but whatever, like, like the people that you know well enough as a friend, like you, is like, dude, he knows editing, the cameras and all the stuff I just talked about. So it's like, I hit you up, hey, dude, what do you think about this? Oh yeah, or try this, use that. Like, I can hit you up anytime and just be like, hey, like, dude, I did this and it's like it's not working well. Okay, try this.
Yeah.
Like, I like that because everyone has their own little category of what they do. You know what I mean? And then you specialize in it, and I think it's like sick.
Yeah, it's nice to have that kind of info at your fingertips.
Mm-hmm. Like, and info, like the surfing thing, I was like, I don't know nothing about that at all. Like, I've surfed before, like I've learned, and like, and if I go on right now, I don't think I can do it. Maybe the longboards, like the longer ones, like the short ones, like I can't do that. I went to freaking
it's all good.
Camp Surf. I did that Camp Surf.
Really?
I did it 1 year. Like,
that's sick.
I mean, it was cool, but I was like, I actually, what's crazy is the last.
A lot of people do that, dude, from San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people do that.
The last day, that's like probably the first time I actually rode a wave like just like this.
Yeah.
Like, just the straight, not the little, like, like, no, just straight. And that was it. It was like the last day.
Bro, that's the feeling though.
I really like boogie boarding. Do you do boogie boarding?
No, I'll body surf.
Okay, like, between those two, those are like two different like parties, two different like.
Yeah.
No, they don't like associate like that.
It's like scooters and skateboarding.
I was trying to think something like that. Same park but different. Like,
yeah,
cruise.
Like scootering and skating.
That's crazy. You ever done any skate videos or anything like that? Like any type of like other than surf and the music stuff, like what is something you like, oh, I recorded this, but it was like different?
I haven't, dude. That's something I still would like to do, is like a skate video, but something different, like
just on free time, nothing like I'm gonna do like.
I've done skate videos with my friends and stuff, but I've never done anything for a company,
Oh,
like
okay.
I've done stuff with surf companies, but not skating. I've done like some fashion type of videos too, but yeah, I don't know.
Now, are these people like? Well, I assume, because you said some are free, but some pay you, and they pay you like. Let me ask this: the most you got paid, whatever the number is, you like looked at her like, wow, I did this and I got paid this much, like to do. You're like, holy shit, and then like you're just like, can I keep doing it? Like, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, how do you feel about that? Like,
I've had that feeling for sure, because part of being an artist is like, I don't know if this applies to everything, but for a photographer and a video guy, like, you have to do a lot of shit for free.
That's what I heard. That's actually what I heard.
Yeah. So it sucks though, because you almost get used to it. But I was young, so I didn't really care, dude. It's like, not like I needed the money. It's like my mom's buying me food, clothes. Like, I'm chilling. I don't need the money. Yeah. I'm just trying to have fun. But you get so used to that feeling that you feel like that when you get paid, I don't know. I feel like this is me personally, but when you start making money, it kind of just feels weird, because you're just like so not used to it. You're so used to like working for free that, I don't know, there's times where I feel like it's like, I don't know, not like greedy, but just you're like, damn, I can't believe this is how much I'm getting paid for something. But it makes sense once you put it into terms of like, if I'm getting paid to do a video for you right now, like, you're paying for all the experience I've had since I was 14. That's 7 years, So I look at it that way now, because it's like, whatever, it might take me 2 hours to make you a video, but somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, is going to take them days.
So like I said earlier, is like, I've known you since we were young. And I don't know if you remember this, like, we known each other for a very long time, like kids.
Pretty much like toddlers.
Yeah.
Probably when we were babies.
Probably, for sure. Like kids, like definitely like kids. I remember there was times like, dude, like I'm pretty sure your parents have talked about it, but like my parents have always said like, dude, like growing up stuff, like, dude, you guys used to hang out like a lot, like when we would go places. This and you think of it, you're like, what? You guys hanged out, or like, yeah, I used to hang out with their parents, and it's like, what the heck?
That's
and like
funny.
we used to take you guys everywhere, and I always think about stuff like that because like they have photos. I don't know if you've seen. I have definitely. They have photos somewhere. I know I have one somewhere.
I'd love to see that.
I have some somewhere. I think I have one on my phone, and I always saved it. I remember they always talk about like beaches. Like they went to the beach, and like we went like here with them, or like, oh, sometimes they're at a party, and like you guys were there. You guys would hang out, and I think that's pretty crazy because like some people you grow up with like as friends, you just kind of stay there. Even like Jacob too. Like I always grew up with Jacob, and it's like you too. Like we kind of actually that's our three. Like we're kind of like a little.
Yeah, like all our parents know each other.
Yeah, and they kind of grew up in a way. At some point, we all hanged out like at one point, and I think that's really crazy with like many people. And it's like, look at us here now. Like we're talking about this, and it's like, look how long, like how far we came. Like from me, not even in high school, hanging out with you and talking to you, but not as much as what you did during that gap.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's like, whoa, like this is all like crazy to me. You know what I mean? Like, and I think it's just one of those things that like it's pretty, it's. To me, it's just mind blowing. Like it's mind blowing because it's like from young to like this point, and this is what you do. You know, and I didn't think you would do that, and like all those things you were talking about. It's like I never would have thought that.
Yeah.
All right, Gabe. Well, I think we come to an end. I think we talked about a lot of things. Like we really like catched up a lot.
Yeah, that didn't feel like whatever it was, 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't like it feels long when you like just talk and stuff. But like when you watch it and when you talk about it, it's just like that's right now. It's like
it's fast.
It's nothing like it's like when you conversate, and it's like I think it's fun. That's why I like doing this. I think it's just fun.
Yeah.
Like, to talk about people like and like other things going on, and like I just like the experience of it.
Bro, that was cool.
Yeah.
Dig it.
So shout out your social medias and everything. Like whatever you want to say, just say it.
At Cultgabe, CULTGABE on everything, all platforms.
Hell yeah.
We keep it consistent.
All right. Cool. Well, guys, this is episode 8 with Colt Gabe right here, man. This was really, really fun. Honestly, like I had a good time, dude.
Oh yeah.
But I'm glad you came, and I'm glad everything worked out, and hopefully I see you again soon.
Yes, sir.
All right. See you guys later.